Hey guys, Dr. Drunk aka here with a game for you, another game for you in my Tier 8 Premium Royal Navy Destroyer, the HMS Cossack. I'm divvied up with Angry Beaver in the Chappie and Rye Guy in the Massachusetts. It's a Tier 10 game. We're on Northern Lights. It is domination. There's a Donskoy, a Wichita, a Kleber, a Lightning, and two Akazukis on the other team that I need to worry about. So let's get right to it. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this is going to be a close game. This game is going to come down to the wire. However, I'm also not going to necessarily comment directly on this game. This game is going to kind of be the background for a little bit of a rant that I have. We do play all these games live on our Twitch stream, twitch.tv/DrDrunkAKA. Head on over, drop a follow, that helps the Twitch stream out quite a bit. But along with the Twitch stream, we do get a lot of talk in chat. Now, this game came in the midst of a number of games where, well, we'd had a couple of rough stretches here. So this game was kind of a nice surprise. And the reason I'm bringing you this was because I immediately thought of this when the conversation happened. Conversation happened in which people were complaining about CVs getting blamed for losses. Now let me backtrack here. This game is a few days older than the actual discussion was. But as the discussion happened, we had been in a game. It was a Tier 10 game with a player in a Lexington. Particular play in the Lexington was it was not good. Let's be generous and say he was not good. In fact, he had absolutely no clue of how to play a CV. He did no spotting. He did not attempt to finish off low health ships. He did not light destroyers. He went so far as when I was sitting in smoke with a full-length, full-duration smoke screen, ready to farm two of their destroyers. All I needed was them spotted. I spotted them, I pinged them, I smoked up to farm them, and the CV tried to rocket drop one of them, did not drop a fighter, and then left. And he didn't come back. He went to the other side of the map. And I'll be honest in saying that I messaged that CV after the map, or after the game, telling him, look, dude, it's fine if you want to play CV, but if you're going to play a CV and you're not going to try to team play as a CV, please, 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 please go back to Tier 4 and Tier 6 and learn how to affect the game with your ship. And that drew the ire of some people in chat. Some people in chat said, why do CVs get all of the blame for every loss? When you have... And one particular person said, well, you were sitting in smoke. And later in a game later, I was playing as a Worcester, a Tier 10 American light cruiser. I was sitting behind an island, and I was doing, you know, what American light cruisers do, which is daka. And one person commented, why would you yell at a CV because you're sitting behind an island? Right, here's the difference. I'm going to spell it out very clearly. The CV has the ability to impact almost any point on the battlefield in one way, shape, or form. Unless you're a destroyer like the Marceau or the Kleber, and you can very quickly switch sides of the map, your ability to impact the entire game from any side of the battlefield is extremely limited. My response to that comment of, well, you were sitting in smoke, you were sitting behind an island, whatever. How do you blame the CV when that happens? Okay. My DPM, a particular ship that I was in, if I remember correctly, was a Kitakazi. My DPM is far greater than the damage that the CV can do Even with perfect drops, I have the ability to absolutely murder 2 destroyers in a Kitakazi, especially if I'm in smoke and they can do no damage to me in return. Playing my ship to the best of its abilities, maximizing its strengths, its DPM, and minimizing its weaknesses, which is its health pool, especially when it's in a 2-on-1 situation. CV loses nothing by actually spotting those targets. And if you notice our Jean Bar here, just as a momentary sidebar, you notice our Jean Bar is pushing into a crossfire between a Bismarck, a Yamato, a Donskoy, and a Wichita showing up there as well. It's important because that Jean Bar later in the game will complain about so many potatoes. But a Kitakazi in smoke maximizes its DPM potential without having to open water gunboat and lose hit points. A Worcester does not need to open water gunboat. Yes, a Worcester can open water gunboat if it needs to, but is that the most efficient way of playing a Worcester? No, it's not. A Worcester is an island-hugging DPM cruiser. Nobody wants to play against a Worcester behind an island. A Worcester ensconced in good island cover where it cannot be spotted, but it has plenty of targets to shoot at, is an absolute nightmare to dig out. And that's exactly the comment that I made to this person in chat was, why should I play my ship to its weaknesses? Why would I play my ship to its weaknesses? I have the job of trying to win the game for my team. I have the job of having to contribute as much as I can to my team. Whether I'm playing a cruiser, whether I'm playing a destroyer, whether I'm playing a battleship, or whether I'm, playing a CV, which you almost never see. Sorry for the cough there. The way to go about winning games is to play your ship to its strengths while minimizing its weaknesses. And there's a comment in there of, why do you blame the CV for a loss? Look, if the CV wants to make a basic play, if the CV really wants to win, it's very simple to look at the battlefield and see what is going on and see what needs to be done. If you see a DD that spots 2 other ones and starts shooting while you are flying over them, why do you just recall your planes and fly in the other direction away from that part of the map? It doesn't make any sense. I am a player that every time I hit that battle button, my ultimate goal is to win the game. My ultimate goal is to win every single game that I log into and play. Every single game. Even the most unwinnable games, and newsflash, we're down 500 points in this game. Do you think it's winnable? Most people look at it and go, no, this isn't winnable, but play it to the end. You never know. My goal anytime I log in and play any of these games is to win. Without question, my ultimate goal is to win every match that I enter. And the concept of somebody just, basically derping around the map in a ship that has so much ability to influence the outcome of a game it's incredibly difficult, number one, for me to understand, number two, to be patient with. Am I going to blame the CV if we lose when it's not his faults? I had a game which you're probably going to see not too long from now, if I can get it recorded. If the replay system works. I had a game, the enemy CV was top of the team, and they still lost. If I'm on that team, I'm not sitting there saying, oh, your fucking CV managed to lose us the game. No. CV's the top of the team. He's the last one alive, which is very typically how it happens. And he did his best to try and win the game. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with losing if everybody tries to win and we just get outplayed. I have big problems with teams that don't try to win and they don't even have to get outplayed because they just play like idiots. I have a huge problem with that. And granted, I know not everybody can be, you know, super Unicum players or amazing at World of Warships. I understand it is a complex game. But there's a recent attitude of, well, I'm just having fun, and you shouldn't blame me if we lose, because I'm just having fun. Yeah, right, but you're just having fun ruins the fun of 11 other people. If you're not trying to win, your, quote, having fun ruins the fun of anybody else who may think that winning is fun. So, is it okay for you to have fun as long as it ruins my fun? We see this all the time with mid pushes on Two Brothers, where, you know, people go up the middle because, whoa, I'm having fun because I saw Flambast do it, or I saw whoever do it. Don't do that, man. You're not Flambast, and you know what? That's great. If you're having fun with it, that's wonderful. But maybe you might want to realize that your having fun is ruining everybody else's ability to do the same. And as I mentioned earlier, our suiciding Jump R comments about so much potato, even though he died in a crossfire of 4 ships. Maybe he's asking his destroyers to save him. Well, hold my beer. That's our job. I'm going to play my ship to its strengths. The only one that I have to blame for this loss is myself if we lose. Because, let's be honest, I'm going to do the best that I can do, and I'm going to hope that my teammates want to win enough that they're going to do the best they can do. I can't guarantee that. I can only play my game. And I know what I have to do to win is going to be to kill the remaining DD, to protect our Kremlin, and try to get caps. Yes, we are down 300 points. However, we have 7.5 minutes left. We're down 3 caps to 1. We have 7.5 minutes left. If we grab caps, we have a potential that we can win. I have to kill this lightning first, and I'm hoping he's not high health. He's not. He's only on about 3k. He does have a faster reload than I do, but newsflash, Cossack's broadside is absolutely disgustingly strong, so I don't worry about it. I notice I'm no longer spotted, so I'm free to damage control. And hopefully that Wichita will disappear off the face of the earth, because dealing with 2 Wichitas as a destroyer is going to be very difficult to swallow. Thank you, Kremlin. I approve. Now here's the part where I'm going to say, only because we had the discussion in chat of, you know, you're hiding behind an island, you're doing this, you're doing that, so you blame the CV. And this is the part where I say, you play your ship to its strengths, not to its weaknesses. You have to minimize the weaknesses of the ship you're playing, maximize its strengths in order to be able to win a game. And that should be the ultimate goal of everybody on the team. Am I going to yell at a CV that basically potatoes around, doesn't spot, doesn't finish low health targets? You know, am I going to do that? Absolutely. Am I going to yell at a destroyer that YOLOs into a cap, does nothing, and then says, oh, at the beginning of the game, I'm going to kill myself early in this game because I'm tired of playing against tier 10s? Am I going to yell at that person? Absolutely. Am I going to be pissed off at a battleship that sits behind an island and doesn't do their goddamn job, which is kill other cruisers and kill other battleships? You better believe I am. Don't mistake, this is not an issue of, oh, CVs are evil and need to be removed from the game. CVs do need to be balanced. I'm not going to argue that. But CVs are here to stay. Newsflash for you folks, CVs are here to stay. You're going to have to learn to live with them, because you're not going to get rid of them. However, the biggest problem with CVs is they are essentially easy mode for new players. It's very simple for a new player to pick up a CV. They do not have to worry about managing 2 different shell types. They don't have to worry about managing torpedoes. They don't have to worry about managing surface detection, air detection, smokescreen timers, damage control cooldowns, hydro cooldowns. They don't have to worry about radar. They don't have to worry about radar durations and distances. How long is the Russian heavy cruiser radar? How long is the light cruiser radar? How long is the American light cruiser radar, American heavy cruiser radar? What's the distances on both of those? If you're a destroyer, what's the surface detection of every single destroyer in the game? There's a lot of variables for surface ships to manage. However, CVs don't necessarily have that problem. So in reality, a CV can very easily focus on team play and actually paying attention to the minimap and trying to use the strengths of their ship to its advantage. You know, when you have a CV that just refuses to do their job, they don't care enough to go spot something. They don't care enough to try and, you know, light a destroyer. When they don't care enough to, you know, scout for their team to find out what is pushing. When a CV can't read the minimap and realize that they're being pushed hard from one side and they are the quickest way to get some kind of ordnance over to that push and slow it down, that is a problem. The same thing applies to any ship and any class in the game. It's not so much a case of it's the CV's fault, it's the BB's fault, it's the DD's fault, it's the cruiser's fault. It's really not. What it is a factor of, what it truly is a fact of, it's a fact of the player's fault. It's a fact of the player's fault for not caring enough or not even trying enough to win the game. That is what bothers me. Does it get directed at CVs inordinately? Probably yes. And it gets directed at CVs inordinately because they do have some of the greatest influence on the game. I've long said that CVs influence games. Destroyers win games. You can see it right now. We're down by just a little under 200 points. We have 2 DDs. We have 1 battleship. Our battleship has been a rock star. And honestly, our Kremlin is going to be the difference maker here. But this is a player that wants to win. You can see him in chat. Gun him down. He's doing everything he can to win. Everything he can to win. You'll see him again in chat. Use your guns. Gun him down. Use guns. I'm not going to be able to reach that Yami. Engine boost activated. I have to try and think about trying to make a YOLO move on this Wichita. That's if I need to, because I'm assuming our shimmy won't be able to do it. Now he opens up with his guns. Newsflash is we're actually going to kill that Yami. But this rant is essentially, I use the discussion in chat to illustrate that this is not about one class taking an inordinate amount of blame compared to any other. This is a discussion about players playing worse than ever and choosing to play a class which has perhaps the greatest impact on the game. That is truly what this is about. If you're going to play a CV, please learn how to impact the game positively for your team. If you're not going to do that, assume that people are going to get mad at it and are going to call you out on it.
Much obliged, Commander.
In this case, we had 3 ships that wanted to win, 96,900 points of damage. We won with 10 seconds left on the clock because of the team play by 3 guys that have no idea who the other person is because they want to win. That 96,900 damage is good enough for the top of the team. Oh, look, Kremlin and the Shimmy and myself are all in the top 5. Amazing. Guys, thank you for listening to the rant. Hopefully, it makes a little bit of sense to you. As I said, we do play these live on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/DrDrunkKKA. Head on over there, drop a follow. It helps out quite a bit. Make sure you hit the follow on the YouTube as well, the like and the follow, and like and subscribe. Guys, Dr. Drunk KKA saying it is last call. You do not have to go home, but you can't stay here. Later.